Hello students, today we'll discuss or we'll start module number 3 of digital system design using Velo. The module number 3 is the implementation fabrics. So in the implementation fabrics, we'll discuss about the various points, that is integrated circuits. Into that we are going to design, we are discuss about small scale integration, medium scale integration, large scale integration, very large scale integration, different techniques, different ICs we are going to discuss. Then we are going to discuss about the programmable logic devices, that is PLDs. Into that we are going to discuss about the programmable logic arrays, then complex programmable devices, CPLDs, and then FPGAs. Then we are going to discuss about the ASIC, application specific integrated circuits, and then we are going to discuss about the packaging and circuit boards. Into that we are going to discuss about the various types of printed circuit boards, and then last point we are going to discuss about the interconnection and signal integrity. Into this topic we will proceed about the first point, that is integrated circuit. In integrated circuit, early digital circuits were constructed by using relays, vacuum tubes, and discrete transistors. Okay, but the component circuits are formed, but all the complete circuit is formed on a single silicon wafer. This reduces tremendous area and cost. It increases reliability of circuit and they are easy to handle. The credit of this invention goes to Jack Kilby of Texas Instrument. In 1958 he developed it. Okay, this technique is refined by several developers, and the market is grown up by the IC in 1960s. Okay, so due to the rapid growth in this technology, so all the market will be grown up with the ICs, and nowadays ICs are a part of our digital circuit. ICs are manufactured on a silicon wafer. Okay, so this process, IC manufacturing process, have various kinds of several photolithographic process. Okay, and these ICs are manufactured on, or it will start with the ingot of pure silicon. Okay, so this process starts with the preparation of the silicon ingot, and then this cut into the wafers, and thickness is less than millimeter, and these slices are finely polished. Okay, the early wafers were having, these early wafers are having 50 mm in diameter in size. Nowadays the diameter of the wafer, it is about the 300 mm, means around about the 30 centimeter, around about 1 feet. So now we can see, so what will be the advantage of this? So advantage of this is that this will allow us more number of chips on at a time on one wafer. Okay, and this reduces wastage. Okay, this is the advantage of increased diameter. Okay, so this IC manufacturing process, it will start with the different chemical processing steps based upon the photolithographic. Okay, these are the different steps. Out of that, first is the ion implementation, and the second will be the etching deposited film. So into this, in implantation, the surface is exposed to different types of ion impurities, so that diffuses into silicon. It changes its electrical property. Okay, so if it is a silicon, so N type diffusion will be done, or P type diffusion will be done, and then its electrical property obviously it is going to be changed. Okay, so into the etching process, it will be based upon the photolithography process. Okay, now you can see here that there are different steps how. So we want to wear onto this interested area. Now you can see the last step here, E. So here this area, these are the interested area where we are going to do further processing means further we are going to do here n-type diffusion or p-type diffusion, n-well or p-well we can do here. So interested area, how we can form that interested area, that is by using step by step. That is, in first step you can see here, that is silicon wafer is there, and silicon wafer is covered with, or there will be a thin oxide layer. Above that there is a photoresist layer. Then into this next figure B, so you can see a mask is there. Okay, so this mask having some holes, and through that holes ultraviolet rays, UV rays are passed, so that this photoresistor layer will be exposed here. Okay, now then required area exposed to the ultraviolet rays through the mask, then the exposed area dissolves either exposed area or unexposed area, so depending upon the photoresistor rate. So this exposed area it will dissolve, or unexposed area it will dissolve, depending upon the photoresist material it is used. The uncoated area further will be processed and remaining resist is stripped out. Uncoated area is further processed and uncoated area, and this each out, this photoresistor layer is stripped out. Okay, and further we can go for the other processing, that is ion implantation, that is a doping we can go for here, that is n-type diffusion, p-type diffusion, whatever we want, that depending upon design you can see here. So this figure it shows the various types of layer. So you can see here, see there will be the substrate, then okay, so there will be n-type diffusion, p-type diffusion into this substrate, there will be the poly here. Okay, and there will be, these are the metal layers. Okay, so this building blocks is going vertically, it is going to be developed. Okay, now after this testing, so this is one silicon wafer. Okay, this is silicon wafer, and into that silicon wafer this is one size of the one IC. Okay, so here we can do for the all these different processes for one IC. Number of devices, number of transistor into that, whatever that we are going to include here depending upon the technology. We'll see, but there are different technologies, SSI, MSI, LSI, VLSI. Okay, these are different technologies. Now once the circuit on the wafer has been manufactured, then each IC must be tested out. So we have to test each IC. Okay, the ICs which are going to work or correctly or not. So if it is not going to work, so that how to verify that? By using the various test we can check it. Defect cause some ICs to fail it, so test to identify the doesn't working ICs, and if those ICs are not working, they discard them. Okay, so the yield of proportion of the manufactured yield of proportion of a manufactured IC that works on the cost of the discarded defective ICs must be amortized over those that not works. Okay, the yield of proportion of manufactured IC that works, the cost of discarded defective IC must be amortized over those that works. After testing ICs on a wafer, the wafer is broken into individual chips, then they are packaged. The packaging process may introduce packaging process also may introduce another defects, hence they must be tested after packaging. Okay, after packaging also they will be further tested, so that we will get defect free ICs. Okay, the circuit size and complexity depends upon the minimum feature size. Circuit size and complexity, it will depend upon the minimum feature size, and this will depends upon the manufacturing process. By the use of high resolution mask and shorter wavelength of light reduces the feature size. How to reduce the feature size, that is high resolution mask we have to use, and short wavelength light we have to use. Okay, that will reduce the feature size. Okay, so benefits of the size reduction, that cost reduces, density increases, their functionality increases, reduces circuit delay and higher operating speed. By the use of extreme ultraviolet light allows us to manufacture circuits with minimum feature size about 90 micrometer technology. Or here you can see here, if the high resolution mask and shorter wavelength light, if we go on reducing, then we can wavelength, if we go on reducing, then we can go for the further smaller in size. That is, nowadays we can see, so we can start with the 350 nanometer technology. Then so the size of the feature size is going on reducing, that is 250 nanometer technology, 180 nanometer technology, 130 nanometer technology. Okay, further if we go on reducing, then so till we continue in the same manner, smaller the feature size, denser will be the chips and faster will be the circuit. Smaller will be the feature size and faster will be the circuit, and denser will be the chip. Okay, number of devices per chip will go on increasing. Okay, then so there are, depending upon the number of transistors, number of devices per chip, there are different technologies are there. Okay, these are the small scale integration, medium scale integration, large scale integration, very large scale integration. In early days, that is at the 1958, Jack Kilby started in 1958. In 1961, Texas Instrument introduced the first logic family. Okay, they are introduced the first logic family for the use of the logic components. After 3 years, that is in 1964, Texas Instrument introduced the 5400 and 7400 families of the TTL ICs. So out of that 7400 series and this 7400 series, it is for commercial and industrial application, and 5400 series, it is for military applications. Okay, so this in 7400 series, it is nothing but the TTL family. Okay, transistor logic. So they were so this small scale integration technology, in the small scale integration technology, there are number of transistors will be small and up to maybe tens, number of tens, in the tens, maybe 10, 20, up to 50. Or in medium scale, the transistor, medium scale integration technology, the number of transistors up to hundreds will be there. So there is hard to define what is the partition between small scale integration and large scale integration. So you can see the example of the small scale integration, that is 7400 is contains the 4 NAND gates, whereas 7427 contains 4 NOR gates. 7427 contains 4 NOR gates, whereas the 7474 contains 2 D flip-flops. So these are the small scale example of the small scale integration circuit. And the medium scale integration circuit is the number of transistors are increased, there may be up to hundreds, there may be 7490, that is 4-bit counter, or 7494, it is 4-bit shift register. The number of transistors are increased. Okay, so then other logic families. So other logic families, in this other logic families you will get the number of families likewise 74 series. Into that, in 74 series there is again changes will be done, that is according to the power utilized, according to the speed. Okay, 74L 74L00, 74L00, it is stands for, L means for low power. Okay, 74S, S is stand for Schottky diodes. So internally Schottky diodes are used so their required switching time will be less, and hence these ICs will be the more faster. Okay, for fast switching, the 74S series will be there, and there will be the compromise between the two technologies, that is 74LS technology will be the low power and high speed. Okay, so that will be achieved by the 74LS technology. Again, so but the power requirement will be the more in case of Schottky diodes. So there will be the another change will be there. Advanced low power Schottky diodes will be used. Advanced low power, that is 74 advanced LS, advanced low power Schottky 00 series will be there. So another series is there, 74F00 series. Into that the speed will be the faster. These are the other families of the 7400 series. So what is the drawback of the 7400 series? It uses the bipolar transistor, and as the bipolar transistors we are going to use, you know that the power requirement or the transistors requires more power for switching, and even though they are in off conditions, they will take some power consumption will be there. Okay, so power is spent more here, so that will be reduced by using the CMOS technology. The CMOS technology in early days, so it will be started parallelly with the in 1960s, that is 400 family. So it will work on power that will be ranging from 3 volt to 50 volt. Okay, so they will utilize very low power. They required very low power, but they are not compatible with the CMOS. The CMOS families are not compatible with the TTL families, and hence they are not so grown up to 1970s or 1980s. They are not grown up as we expect. Okay, so after that in 1980s, 74 manufacturer developed the 74SC series, that is compatible between CMOS and TTL. So we can compare, we can connect TTL ICs with the CMOS ICs or CMOS ICs with the TTL ICs. That is the compatibility that will be 74SC series will be started. They are started, and then advanced 74SC series will be started. So these are the other families. Then next we'll see about the number of transistors, or as the technology going on increasing, improved one, so that the number of transistors per chip is going on increasing. Now the thousands of transistors will be introduced or will be achieved in one single IC. So that is able to possible a small computer with the help of one single IC. Okay, and that IC is called as a microprocessor. Okay, by using the microprocessor, so we can use or we can design a small computer. Okay, so and other technologies, what is the LSI technology or MSI technologies, they are used for the glue logic, means they are used for the intermediate ICs we required for that. They can be used for the completion of the total circuit. Okay, so later the additional circuit for 74XS families are oriented towards the glue logic, and their interfacing will be done. For example, multi-bit tri-state drivers, resistors, they are implemented in 7XS families. So other functions supplemented by the programmable logic devices. Okay. Okay, today we'll stop here, and then we'll discuss about the next video. We'll discuss about this counter example. Okay, student friends, we'll stop here.